Hello ladies and gentlemen, Tevaron here, and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Magic. This week we are going to be playing another fun deck that I have named HexSplosions. Without further ado, let's look at what's involved. This is at its core a red-green ramp deck with some cool little synergies going on. The first cards that we see here are ramp cards, creatures that produce mana, 2 Deathcap Cultivator, for Druid of the Cowl, and I accidentally removed a Cultivator from the list. Get back in there. Then we've got removal, 3 each of Harness Lightning and Twin Bolt. I have gone with Twin Bolt as aggro is very prevalent on the ladder at times, and being able to potentially take out 2 creatures with 1 spell is very good. 2 Rolling Thunder as both removal and a potential game-winning spell. 2 Tireless Tracker for card advantage and beef. 2 Reclamation Sage, because there are lots of artifacts and enchantments we would prefer were not on the battlefield for the opponent. 2 Nissa's Pilgrimage, another couple of ramp spells there. 2 Bristling Hydra, a creature that can gain hexproof as the deck's name implies. 4 Explosive Vegetation as the last of our ramp cards. And then we get into the explosion part of the name. We've got Chandra's Ignition. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. And Monstrous Onslaught. Monstrous Onslaught deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control as you cast Monstrous Onslaught. So that is the explosion part of the deck name. Gaea's Revenge doesn't actually have hexproof, though it might as well. It can't be targeted by anything that isn't green. Important to note that that means you can't target it with Chandra's Ignition either. However, with Monstrous Onslaught, it is just fine, as even if it wasn't green, Monstrous Onslaught doesn't actually target your creatures. And the fact that it's haste and can't be countered makes it a very good trump in control matchups. 3 Plated Crusher, running the full 3 of this card because it is the creature we most want on the battlefield to use Chandra's Ignition and Monstrous Onslaught with. Trample and Hexproof, 7/6. And finally, at the very top of the curve, Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, again, not exactly hexproof, but it is indestructible, so they can only really get rid of it by exiling it or bouncing it. The mana base is exceedingly simple: 7 mountains, 10 forests, 2 Cinder Glade, 2 Rootbound Crag, and 3 Aether Hub. The deck does have issues with aggressive decks sometimes, especially the mono-red variety. However, when it does its thing, it really does its thing, and it is a ton of fun. So let's play a few games, shall we? Okay, this is not a very good hand. Our only early drop is a Singleton Harness Lightning. We can't ramp. We are going to mulligan this. And this is a lot better. We will keep. Our ideal opening is a turn 2 mana producing creature into Explosive Vegetation. However, Nissa's Pilgrimage is going to be just fine here. We'll lead off with the Rootbound Crag, planning to play Druid of the Cowl next turn. And then, whether it survives or not, we will be able to Nissa's Pilgrimage on turn 3. Another thing about this deck is it tends to do a lot better on the play than on the draw, even more so than most other decks. Being able to get your ramp engine going faster gives you a lot more survivability. So much so that a lot of cases you can win games on the play that you would have had no chance winning on the draw, and vice versa, lose on the draw when you would have absolutely dominated on the play. Alright, going to play our mountain and play out Druid of the Cowl. We also have the option next turn of, instead of pilgrimaging, going Tireless Tracker and then playing a land after to get a clue. Getting the Tireless Tracker down on turn 3 while generating the clue is pretty big game. However, I think the ramp aspect is going to be better here. Of course, they're not putting a lot of pressure. The other option we would have is just playing Bristling Hydra. I'm guessing that the opponent is on Planeswalkers. That's what it's looking like anyway. Either that or just straight up Abzan control. There's Nissa, there's a Planeswalker, though it's in the colors that we've seen already. What should we do? If we play out either Tireless Tracker or Bristling Hydra, it might force the opponent to use a board sweeper this next turn, which would protect our stuff in the future. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the Bristling Hydra because I would much rather have the Tireless Tracker survive. Also good to play the Hydra while our opponent is tapped out. That way we definitely keep it alive while the energy is entering our pool. Otherwise, since we had no energy, they could kill it with the energy generation trigger on the stack. Now it has its hexproof ability up and ready to activate. Right, still only seeing Abzan colors here, so maybe they're just Abzan control. Are they going to swing with a Visionary? Nope. So no sweeper from the opponent here. They could also be planning to activate the Hissing Quagmire to block and trade Death Touch there. Let's start out by attacking. Also, Blessed Alliance could be a thing, so I am running right into that. However, I think that's fine. Especially fine since it didn't actually happen. Let's go ahead and play Nissa's Pilgrimage. Getting our 2 forests. And we'll play one of those forests since the opponent knows that we have it in our hand. And then we will pass. Don't want to extend here and lose too many of our creatures to a board sweeper. Then again, they could have had Blessed Alliance and just been planning on sweeping the board, but it seems that Nissa is their play. Alright, making the 5/5 and probably just holding back to block. That is the case. Gaea's Revenge is pretty good, except that it trades straight up with this 5/5. We could play the Revenge and attack everything at Nissa. They would then trade the 5/5 with the Gaea's Revenge, almost certainly. Block the Hydra here, we'd get 1 damage through on Nissa. That would stunt their mana though. Very interesting situation here. I think I am going to do that. Yeah, let's go for the Revenge. Oh, actually we won't be dealing 1. I had miscounted. We had to tap that for mana for the Revenge. Still, I think attacking with both of these is the optimal play here. Okay. Really? Yeah. Yeah, this pumps itself, that's for sure. Alright, we're not going to waste the Hydra's ability. We'll save the energy there. And we'll pass the turn back. Alright, ultimating Nissa, so now every time they play a land, they will draw a card. So they're going to draw 2 because of the Evolving Wilds here. Makes me think they didn't have a sweeper in hand. There's a Renegade Rallier, though, so they can get back their Evolving Wilds and draw 2 more cards. That's some big game. Or just get back Elvish Visionary, I guess, for an additional blocker. Alright. Well, we're getting to the point that we want to stop drawing lands and start drawing some of our huge threats. Let's attack. Alright, well, we will pump this time. That will eat the Rallier and keep our Hydra alive. And then we are going to Tireless Tracker, which could potentially die to a Fatal Push here now that they have Revolt. And we'll try to get a couple more clues with a Pilgrimage. And that looks like it is going to resolve, so we'll pass the turn. Murder on the tracker, okay. Not thrilled about it, but at least they didn't play a Planar Outburst or a Languish. Anguished Unmaking on the Hydra, okay. We will want to be sacking these clues. Well, 1 at least, that's how much mana we have available. Alright, Explosive Vegetation. Ah, there we go, that's better for us. Let's see. So we have the ability to play the Crusher and hold up mana for the clue, so we'll do that. And pass. Alright, that emblem is drawing our opponent a ton of cards. So are there Elvish Visionaries. Kind of turned into card draw deck at this point. And we need to be aware at this point of both the existence of Hissing Quagmire, which can kill our Plated Crusher because of the Death Touch, and Blessed Alliance. So if we swing with our big dude, we want to also be swinging with our little dude, so we have something we wouldn't care to sacrifice, like this clue that we're going to sacrifice right now. Alright, Twin Bolt. And Rolling Thunder. So let's play our Forest. We can do 9 with Rolling Thunder at present. That includes tapping down the Druid. So if we attack with both of these, they can activate here and block the Druid of the Cowl here. They will get trampled for 5. And then we can do 6, 7, 8, which is exactly lethal. So maybe we don't even want to attack with the Druid. Well, no, we do because of Blessed Alliance. Let's see if we can get them dead. Of course, if they have Blessed Alliance, they're going to gain some life, but then our Plated Crusher won't be dying either. And there is the Hissing Quagmire. Alright, blocking as I figured they would. Alright, let's finish them off. And I will see you guys in the next game. We've got a Mana Dork But we don't have another ramp spell, and we're one land short of casting the Hydra. Still, I think we're going to try this. We may get stuck and not actually do anything this game, but that's the risk you take with a deck like this sometimes. Sometimes you get a handful of beef and not enough mana to cast it, and then sometimes you flood out on mana and have 15 mana available and nothing to actually do with it. Alright, well, they are almost certainly playing Eldrazi with Ruins of Oran Reef in there. Another bad thing right now is if our mana dork dies here, then we have no actual source of green mana, since we used our energy from the Aether Hub here to cast the Druid. We would love to draw a forest off the top, or a Rootbound Crag would be fine too. Eldrazi Mimic, so they are going old school here. Able to copy power and toughness when another colorless creature enters the battlefield. Well, we could just kill that. Or we could cast our Deathcap Cultivator. Very much would have loved to have drawn any untapped land there. Let's play the Cultivator, but we want to tap the Aether Hub, please. How much are we getting smashed for here? Slaughter Drone. So it's just going to change to a 2/2 if they choose to. Okay, can give that Death Touch. Activated the Ruins there to make it a 3/3. Alright, we will not be blocking here. Come on, land. Alright, good. So we have 5 available to us. We could just Rolling Thunder and kill this. Or we could drop Bristling Hydra. I think casting the Hydra is probably our best bet, and we want to leave the Druid up to block since it's a better blocker. And pass. Alright, Erebos Titan. Luckily that doesn't trigger the Eldrazi Mimic as it's not colorless. Okay. Yeah, I'll block that. Guess they're going to give it... Well, they can't give it Death Touch, they're tapped out. Sure. Block and pump. Okay, I'm perfectly happy with that exchange. So now we have 6 mana. I think the first thing we do is just attack with the Hydra. Okay, they're willing to trade, so we'll let that happen. And then I'm pretty sure you can get this back. Yeah. If a creature leaves our graveyard, they can discard a card to get it back. I think we are just going to pass for the moment. We have Twin Bolt available at instant speed here. Hopefully they will play another X1 and we can kill both the Mimic and it, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. Alright, let's go ahead and deal with this thing. Deal a damage to them as well. And that's exactly what we wanted to see. Hello, Gaea's Revenge. 8 hasty damage coming your way, opponent. And luckily this guy, or girl, or it, or whatever it is languish proof. Alright, Slaughter Drone can kill it, but we do have a Rolling Thunder to stop that from happening. And as such, our opponent is probably dead here. We want to do this for 3. 1, 2, 1. Yes, please. And they need to kill something here. Well, that was quick. I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah, we can't keep this. Ooh, this is awesome. Opponent plays first. That's unfortunate, but we've got Druid of the Cowl into Explosive Vegetation. If it lives and we pull that off, we'll just need to draw something big to cast with all that mana. Alright, that is not something big. And I guess even if the Druid doesn't survive, we can start with Nissa's Pilgrimage, though Explosive Vegetation is definitely our spell of choice here. Duskwatch Recruiter, okay. Alright, Deathcap Cultivator. Well, we are going to play the Druid of the Cowl, as it is more survivable. The 3 defense is a whole lot better than the 1 on the Deathcap Cultivator. This looks like it might be Nighthawk's mono green deck. Are we playing against Nighthawk? No. Well, if they swing here, we'll block since they have no mana up. This deck here does a couple of things similar to what we're doing. They're also playing Monstrous Onslaught, but they're also playing things like Primal Bellow and things to make any of their creatures huge. I think it also runs Rishkar's Expertise to draw a bunch of cards too. Twin Bolt's pretty good. Might be worth it to kill that. Is it worth it to kill that? We could kill that and then play our Cultivator. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And cultivate. Hopefully this is not the wrong decision here, but I really don't know what we're going to be drawing coming up, and getting that potential creature card advantage off the board while still advancing our mana plan is what seems like the correct play here. Alright, there we knew they had that from the Pilgrimage. There is a Gearhulk, which is bad. It's very huge. We need to draw some of our very huge stuff now. That is not what we were thinking about. Let's play a forest. Go ahead and explode. Get a forest and a mountain. And we will not be suiciding into the Gearhulk. And this is the point where we probably get blown out by Monstrous Onslaught or Rishkar's Expertise or something of the like. Or maybe just a few primal bellows. In any case, we're not going to block. Thing has trample. There is an explosive from them. Well, this is unfortunate. Well, at least we get to ramp really hard right here. Hopefully we'll draw something to make it worthwhile if we're not just dead come next turn. Alright, so the question is, do we attack with anything? This can potentially absorb some damage, but they also have the Rogue's Passage to just not make it to where we can't block. I think I am going to hedge, make them use the Rogue's Passage, and swing for 2 here. Alright, Breaker of Armies. That's bad. Makes all our stuff block it. Well, we will just take this 8 here, I think. Since we're not in danger of dying immediately, there's no use in throwing away our Druid. Though this game's pretty well over unless we draw Ulamog, which we didn't. If we had Delirium, we could wipe their board because this Druid would have, the Druid Deathcap Cultivator would have Death Touch. As it is, we are very, very dead. So, let's just pass back and let them kill us. Again, this is the risk you play playing any type of deck that's wanting to ramp. Sometimes you just get all your lands out and have nothing to actually cast that makes a difference. Alright. Kind of a waste of time, but you know, whatever. Have fun. Come on and swing and kill me. Kill me! Or ramp some more. Okay, they're going to kill me. Well, we have to block that, so we'll do that. And die. Good game, opponent. Hopefully we'll have a little bit better RNG in the next game. I think this is a hand worth trying, so we'll keep this. We do need a red mana. We also need just some more lands or ramp spells in general. Sulfur Falls may be up against a Fevered Visions deck. There's our mountain, so that's good. It's a shame we're on the draw on all of these games. We really, really want to be on the play. At least the opponent seems to be off to a slow start, so that's good. Hydra. Well, let's go ahead and play our Druid of the Cowl. Then next turn we can either Tireless Tracker plus land, that is, if this survives, or just Bristling Hydra. If they tap out or tap low on mana here, Bristling Hydra's pretty good game against these types of decks. Since they can't really deal with something that has hexproof. They'll need a sweeper who looks like they're Grixis. Thing in the ice, okay? So that is almost certainly what they are. Alright. Let's play our Hydra then. However, Radiant Flames here could be very bad for us. It would kill our Druid. We can save the Hydra with the pump here. Looks like that's not going to be happening. Well, let's attack. Alright, good deal. Let's Explosive Vegetation. Hopefully it resolves. Looks like it's going to be countered. Nope, Glimmer. Taking a counter off of their thing in the ice, too. We want to try to kill this before it flips, if we're able. When the last counter comes off, it flips. Oops. Get our lands there. It flips into Awoken Horror and bounces all non-horror creatures to their owner's hands. So if they have a bunch of low casting cost stuff, they could potentially flip it right now. Looks like they're not going to be able to, though, so... Alright. Well, we could Tracker into Land Drop. That would still leave us able to double Twin Bolt this thing if the opening presents itself. Yeah, let's do that. Get our clue. And attack with the Hydra. Alright, dealing 4 here. Hopefully they'll tap out again on our end step or close to it. Okay, well, let's kill the thing in the ice then. Let's not use both mountains, please. Alright, telling time. That's not really going to save it, so we will be losing our Tireless Tracker, but they will be losing their thing in the ice. And since they don't have an artifact out, we will not be losing the 3 life to the Unlicensed Disintegration. They could also have Languish in this deck, which would deal with our Hydra even through the energy we have available. Alright, fetching out another island. Obnixilis. Probably going to draw a card here. Oh, just killing our Druid? Okay. Well, we will return the favor by killing your Obnixilis. And they're tapped out, so no reason to sandbag anything. We'll play our Plated Crusher, which should be excellent versus them as well. And... wait, what? Why? What is... oh. Okay. The question is, do we want to kill Ob or swing at their face? If we swing at their face, then these two together are lethal next turn without pumping. However, that leaves them extra card draw. Of course, if they draw a card, then they're lethal without pumping as well. So, yeah, let's kill Ob, because that makes it less likely they can remove our Hydra. Okay. Because they can still kill it with 2 instant speed or 2 removal spells, one of which needs to be instant speed. They could target it with any one, and then when we go to make it, well, doesn't matter. It's dying anyway. All right. Let's draw a card. And go ahead and Nissa's Pilgrimage. So it looks like they are just straight up Grixis control here, with Dark Intimations in the deck. Hopefully they don't have another sacrifice effect. And hindsight always 20/20, but at this point we should have just attacked them with the Hydra. That would have put them a lot closer to just being dead. And there is another Dark Intimation, so that is bad. We could now lose this game. Or, you know, we could draw Rolling Thunder and just kill their face. So there's that. Yeah, we can't keep one land hands. Ditto. Huh. This feels really bad, but we're going to keep it. If we draw off 2 lands, then we'll be in okay shape. That's a big if, though. Alright, well, I mean, that means we only need to draw 1 more land to actually be able to do things. Ooh, another red-green rampy deck. A rival has entered the arena. Lands, please. Please give me a land, an untapped land. Please don't give me Cinder Glade next turn. A forest, a mountain, or a Rootbound Crag would be fine. Well, at least they're not doing anything with that extra mana. Just hitting us for 1, we'll take that. And they're stuck on lands too. Nice. Haha. We got there. Your move, opponent. And... oh, I guess they didn't draw their 3rd land. That's unfortunate. Was hoping for a bit better of a game. Still, it's not over yet. Explode. Mountain, forest. And next turn we have Gaea's Revenge online. Okay, Rex Sage. I mean, that is a blocker. And we're 1 mana off being able to cast the Daddy too. Come on now. I apologize for this game. It's not very interactive, our opponent being mana screwed and all, but what can you do? Magic is a game that has random elements, and... ah, they finally drew their land. So maybe they can get in this? Chandra? I mean, that helps. Okay. So Ulamog can come down next turn. And, we could just Monstrous Onslaught and kill these. Then do 8 to their face or kill Chandra. I think we are going to Monstrous Onslaught. Just kind of divide it up there. And we're going to attack their face. I don't really care about Chandra right now. She can't do anything to Gaea's Revenge. She can provide the mana, though. Which I'm absolutely not against. I would like to see them cast something. Alright, now they have 5 mana for Nissa, okay. Well, that is definitely the game. Hopefully the next game will be a good even matchup in which neither we nor our opponent gets completely blown out. Regardless, I will see you there. This is not exactly the kind of hands I would like, but I don't think it's mulliganable. We've got creature removal into Tireless Tracker or Reclamation Sage. So this would be a decent hand versus an aggressive deck here. Which it may be, as we see a mountain being fetched for there. Alright, we'll lead with Cinder Glade. Alright, Reckless Fireweaver. Is that the artifact-centric one? Yes. Okay. So perhaps semi-aggressive. Does seem like we'll have a target for our Reclamation Sage at some point. Let's go ahead and kill this thing. Would be awesome if they played an artifact or enchantment we would like to kill here. Just another Fireweaver. Don't really fancy dropping Tireless Tracker without getting at least one clue out of it. So we will just play our land and pass. Fleetwheel Cruiser, that is a great target for Reclamation Sage. We are going to be taking 7 damage here, though. So that puts us a lot lower than we started the turn at. They don't currently have enough power to crew this thing, so we could wait to play the Reclamation Sage. We could go Tireless Tracker, play a land, and hope the Tracker survives so that we could Monstrous Onslaught the next turn. We also could Explosive Vegetation. I think I'm going to go the conservative route, though, and go ahead and kill that Fleetwheel Cruiser. They could have another creature in hand that would enable them to crew and swing for 5 again. And I would prefer that that did not happen. Alright, and there is a creature that could have crewed and actually made it 6 damage it would have been swinging for, so glad we did that. Do we block a point here? I don't think we do. So again, we have a bit of a conundrum. Do we bank on Tireless Tracker surviving into Monstrous Onslaught for the next turn? Or do we just Rolling Thunder and kill this? We could also Explosive Vegetation, which with our land drop would take us to 7 and then 8. And that would be enough to play the Tracker and the Monstrous Onslaught in one turn. However, the Tracker is only going to be enough to kill one of these with the Monstrous Onslaught. If it was Chandra's Ignition, it would be a different story. I think we need to get the Tireless Tracker down. If nothing else, it can block and trade with this. And it's going to give us a clue to draw some cards, so And if it doesn't die, it actually holds this at bay, as when we sack this clue, it becomes a 4/3. They're also only one more land off of popping this. Okay, they're going to Firecraft the Tireless Tracker. Seems reasonable. Alright, before blocks, we're going to sack this clue. I think we should block. Try to keep our life total up a bit, because if they drop another land next turn and pop this, that's a lot of damage between this, the Thopters, and the pump from the Chief of the Foundry. So, just at what's on board, we could be looking at 3, 4, 5 next turn. If we Explosive Vegetation, which we're going to play our land, Explosive Vegetation, we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which would let us Rolling Thunder for 8, which would be enough to kill all of these. So I think that that's our line. Druid of the Cowl would also be able to block a little bit, so that's good. We could just be dead, though. It's very, very close. Alright, Whirler Virtuoso, so that's going to deal 2 damage to us from the artifacts entering the battlefield. Or sorry, 1. It doesn't make 2 straight off. I was confusing that with Whirler Rogue there for a second. So 1 damage. And now we can't completely wipe their board. But we can get close. Or maybe we can. I'll do the math here in a second. We would need a 10 damage Rolling Thunder to completely wipe their side. And I don't think we have that. Let's see, what do we have? So we have an 8 damage Rolling Thunder. So that means we can kill this, this, and this. With 1 damage left over. I think that's what we have to do. Rolling Thunder. We're only going to do 7, so that we can block the Whirler Virtuoso. And we'll do 1 damage here so that it will die when the Chief leaves play. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, leave the Druid untapped, please. Alright. 2 to our face. No, do not attack. Alright, another Fire Weaver. They always have one in their pocket, it feels like. What we would like to draw is Ulamog. Not to be, though. Let's go ahead and Pilgrimage. Alright, play a forest. And hope we're not dead. We need something bigger than this to make our Monstrous Onslaught worth playing. And now they can pop one of these. That will do 2 damage to us thanks to the Fire Weaver. And then they can swing for 1. They swing with both of these. We block 1 and go to 3. And or not. Okay, that helps a little bit. That definitely doesn't. Don't think we're going to win this game. Now we need like another Rolling Thunder or a huge creature to make our Monstrous Onslaught turn on. Alright, and we're dead. 2 damage from the Thopters entering, 2 damage in the air. Good game. Well, that's kind of how it is with this deck and ramp decks in general. When you're firing on all cylinders, you're doing really powerful things that the opponent has a super hard time dealing with. But when you're either drawing all your huge threats with no land or getting all your mana out with no huge threats, then you just kind of founder in the water and die. But regardless, that will be it for this episode of Friday Night Magic. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please leave a like below. It really does help tremendously. And of course, subscribe if you'd like to see more in the future. I have been Tevaron, and until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.